Welcome back to Studio 5. I'm guest host Daylin Dove, filling in for Brooke today. There really is no place like home. It's that place that we find comfort and security, and we want those who come into our home to feel that same warmth and welcome. My next guest says we can create an inviting home by asking ourselves a few simple questions. Interior designer and author Creer joins me in the studio to share more. Thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here today.
And congratulations on this beautiful book.
Thank you so much. It's been such a fulfilling project to work on.
Oh, I can't wait to thumb through those gorgeous, gorgeous pages. I want to talk about when we're doing this warm and inviting theme in our homes, we want to start with our design plan, and you're saying you want us to begin at the end.
Yes.
Tell us what you mean by that.
So I love the idea of working backwards. I think if you have your bigger goals and sort of the higher vision that you have of what you're trying to create in mind, it helps you to understand what components you're actually looking for and really what are the building blocks of what you're trying to create. Whether that be something creative, a wall color, a piece of furniture, it can be specific or it can be general, but I think when you have a bigger vision in mind, it guides you all along the way in the process.
It's so smart because at the end you want it to look a certain way and feel a certain way, so why not start there? It's so smart.
Yes.
Things work
Know
backward.
where you're going. Know where you're going.
Know where you're going. Oh, I love that. Okay, I think having that inviting feeling, right? That's something that's important. It's important to all of us, regardless of our budget or resources, but you're saying that it's possible to have everything if we focus on what we're good at.
Yeah, you know, I think when you play to your strengths and you kind of say, okay, what components do I already have? Where am I starting? Like, what is already available to me? What resources do I have that I can utilize? And then it helps you identify what the gaps are. You know, maybe there is something that you need to save for, or something you need to add, or something you need to figure out and decide, you know, what you want to do, a piece of art, a piece of furniture, or evolving your space. But I think using what you have or understanding what you already have that's working in your favor is really helpful.
That is such a smart tip, and one that, I mean, we all can apply today, right this second. If we want to change things up, reassess what you have, maybe reorganize it, put it in different places, refresh it in that way.
Yes, yes.
Oh, love that. Okay, so we're going to break down each of these ideas that you have. Let's start with meeting the needs.
Meeting the needs. So I think in this day and age, it's easy to kind of get overwhelmed when we're thinking about home projects of, well, I want it to look this way, and there's so many ideas and inspiration, and that's all really valuable and helpful. But at the end of the day, your home needs to meet your needs, whatever those are. And I think those are really specific to each family and the stage of life you're at and just the way that you want to live in your home. You know, if you have small children, your needs are going to be different than you have teenagers. And if you have kids that love to read, that might be different than kids who are so busy with their school activities, you know, they don't have time to sit down and read a book, right? Like really understanding your family and the dynamics of your household and what those needs really are. And then asking yourself, does my home support that? And if it doesn't, or if there's certain aspects that aren't really living up to their full potential, what adjustments can you make to make your home more supportive of your lifestyle and your just day-to-day use of your home?
So good. Next up, in our inviting home, we're the ones that set the tone.
Yes, and I think it's really, really helpful to think about what tone you want to set, what message you want to send, right? When people come to your home, I think back to being a kid and when you would meet a new friend and you would go to their house for the first time, and it was like all of a sudden you understood this person in a new way because you had been to their house, right? And that's true of all of us, right?
Yeah.
When you go into someone's home, you understand things about them, you learn things about them, and their home sets a message and sets a tone. And so really identifying and thinking, what is the tone I want to set? What is the message I want to send? And how do I do that? How do I create that in my own space?
Oof, yes, you set the tone. And of course, we want our homes to tell a story. And you've brought some things to kind of help us support that today. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I would love to tell you. So actually, all of these things came from my personal home. Usually when I do segments like this, I bring stuff from my store or, you know, from our clients and things like that. But these are all from my own home because they represent ways I've told stories in my own home. So one thing I love is just layers and thinking about, okay, what are things you can integrate to both set the tone and tell the story that bring in layers and warmth and just make your house feel cozy. So that could be pillows, that could be throw blankets. I also think light in terms of lamps, light in terms of candles, light in terms of like your actual lighting in your house, just making sure that it's an inviting space that you can see that kind of sets an ambiance, right? And then in terms of telling our story, I love really incorporating personal objects that have memories, that have stories, that have a history with them. And whether that be antiques, whether that be sentimental items, some of these items from my own home are family heirlooms. This is actually my father-in-law's childhood pairs of glasses from when he was a kid.
Cute.
And so many people who come in my home ask me about this. It's kind of a fun conversation starter. But for me, this is just a fun memory to think about him and to think about the stories and the life these glasses lived in his childhood.
I love that.
I also love family photos. Like really carefully framed, curated family photos are so fun to integrate and fun to reflect on those memories. And my kids are getting older now, and I love seeing those photos around my home of different eras of our family life when they were different ages, and just to have those moments.
And I think that's what makes it personal, right?
Yes.
Those are those personal touch. You're not getting it from a store. It's coming from your own personal, and that's what makes a home feel homey.
Yes, and individual, right? It's your story to tell. I think art, I think things that you travel with, just there's so many ways to integrate those personal things. And I talk a lot about that in my book. And that was a huge part of the message of the book, was just kind of telling your own story and creating a home that is suited to you and supports you and reflects you.
Tell us more about this book.
Yes.
Tell us about your store. Where can we connect with you?
So my book is called An Intentional Home, and really guides you through the process that we use with our clients of how we understand our clients in a way to create a home that's specific and suited to them, and with intention and with purpose. And I have a store in Salt Lake, Foundation Goods. You can come visit or shop online, and you can find me online, CaitlinCreerinteriors.com, or on Instagram at Caitlin Creer Interiors or at Foundation Goods.
So beautiful. Big fan. Learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be right back.